Yeah, we back. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up to a video I dropped yesterday entitled, Bill Gates' Daughter is in Love with a Black Man. And in that video, it was about a young brother, I believe his name is Robert Ross. He's currently dating Bill Gates' daughter. She goes by the name of Phoebe Gates. They met at Stanford University, where they are both enrolled as students. I believe Phoebe Gates is set to graduate in the year 2025. And in that video, I gave my analysis, my commentary on this young brother who he's not famous. He doesn't come from a politically connected family, a powerful, wealthy family. He seems to just be a common man, a common young black man who went to a prestigious university off his academic achievements. And not only that, I believe he also interned at Google as well. And in that video, I just put the spotlight on the brother because I felt like the spotlight is never placed enough on the young brothers that's doing what they supposed to do. The young black men that's excelling in life at a very high level. I feel like only the rappers and the ball players and the athletes and the criminals, they're the only one who gets the spotlight in the community. And because of that, the stereotypical image of the black man has been associated with these characters, right? The rapper, the ball player, the drug dealer, the hustler. The stereotypical image of the black man is not associated with the entrepreneur, the businessman, the Ivy League student, the employer, the investor, etc., etc. And in that video, I also spoke about how part of the reason that happens is because those men in those positions, our best and brightest black men, they do not have a large online presence. They're not sitting up on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube documenting their life, documenting their reality. So because these brothers maintain such a low profile, unless you have them around you in your personal circle, you might think they don't exist, even though they walk past you every day. Black men, high 6-figure earners, low 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners, and they're not famous. They're not a rapper, they're not a ball player, they're not a drug dealer, but you would never know because they maintain such a low profile. For example, if this young brother was not dating Bill Gates' daughter, would we know about him? Would we have known that there was a young brother named Robert Ross that got an academic scholarship to Stanford, interned at Google? The only reason he's thrown into the spotlight is because of who he's dating, the daughter of the richest man in the world. But the reality is there are many young Robert Rosses in the United States as well as around the world. And in that video yesterday, I wanted to put the spotlight on the young brother because I feel like black men in that social bracket, they never get enough acknowledgement. They do not get the popularity that they deserve, right? It should be no reason why 21 Savage gets more acknowledgement and popularity than our young brothers going to the Ivy Leagues, doing it big. Or the black men that are the head of 7-figure businesses, or the black men that are major investors, property all over the country, all over the world. And today's video is going to be a good follow-up to yesterday's video because we are going to react to something that Dr. Umar Johnson had posted a few weeks back. As you know, Dr. Umar Johnson, he gives his phone number to the public, which means you are free to contact him, FaceTime him, text him, call him, etc., etc. And sometimes he might post the interaction on his Instagram or his Twitter page. This is something that Dr. Umar Johnson has been doing for years. He has posted many text messages that he's received from fans from all over the world. And in this text message, one of his female fans had reached out to Dr. Umar, and the best way I could describe it is she was complaining about the lack of options that she has in terms of black men, finding good black men. It's hard to find a good black man. Listen, I know we done heard the same song for years and decades, brother. Listen, I know. So she's basically telling Dr. Umar, man, it ain't enough black men. It ain't enough black men. With a black man, with a black man, right? Now let's get into it. Not wasting no time. Take a look up on the screen. This lady texted Dr. Umar and she said this. Good morning, Dr. Umar. I have a serious question for you from your younger audience, especially us single ladies. You encourage us not to date the snow folks and to unify and strengthen our communities. Now, time out. When she says Dr. Umar encourages us not to date the snow folks, you know Dr. Umar don't want black women running around with the white boys. You know Dr. Umar's brand. You know what he talk about, right? So let's continue. I do not disagree yet. How do we navigate these waters when faced with so many black men who do not prioritize marriage or family, who in fact have children out of wedlock, creating families they don't protect and will not lead? Many live off a diet of misogynistic gangster rap and seem to only see opportunities for advancement in sports and music entertainment. To make matters worse, if they're not wasting their time womanizing and anesthetizing themselves with liquor and weed, they don't seem inclined to self-introspection and are not interested in growth and cultivating their community. As a healthcare professional, what do you advise? Should we abandon these men as lost causes or what? These are our brothers, fathers, cousins, uncles, potential mates, and a large segment of our youth. What do we do with these men? Now, let's get into it, man. Like I said yesterday in the video where I spoke about the young brother who is dating Bill Gates' daughter, I had asked the question many times to the ladies. How y'all let this brother slip through the cracks? And I also mentioned how the biggest demographic that marries outside of the race is upwardly mobile, highly educated black men who earn a high salary, high income, high median wealth levels, okay? The black men get to the money, the black men doing their thing, they're the ones marrying out the race at the highest levels, according to the data. And I also mentioned in that video, hey, the ladies always say, where the good black men at? Where the good black men at? You see, she says, black men just sit around womanizing, smoking weed, gangster rap, and we don't lead and protect our communities. And We're just a bunch of lost causes that should be abandoned. And keep in mind, she said this is coming from your younger audience. This is a younger woman, a younger black woman, I'm assuming, right? It's not like you could say, oh, this is an old lady who's bitter and she's washed up. And no. She's a young female, right? In her prime, I'm assuming. And she said she has trouble finding black men. She's a young healthcare professional. And I just said in my video yesterday, okay, y'all have trouble finding black men. The black man y'all talk about is the worst of the worst black men. They don't protect nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't build nothing. They don't lead nothing. But for some reason, all the black men with the 4.0 GPAs, the black men from the successful, stable family backgrounds, the black men who got the academic scholarships, the black men who interned at Google and Apple, and the black men who, the black men who interned with politicians, and the black men that are high flying, high achieving, high powered black men with a bright future, for some reason, the white ladies, the white girls snatching them up, the Asians snatching them up, the Hispanics snatching them up. Every other race of woman just snatching them up at high speeds that you wouldn't believe. And the women sitting back saying, oh, well, the black man, they ain't doing nothing but sitting back smoking weed and not protecting the community. And okay, keep talking about black men that way. And all the black men that are handling their business, don't be surprised when they continue to stay away from you, right? When they can sense the bitterness off you. Didn't I say in one of my last videos, I said intelligent black men, we can sniff out bitterness and black male hatred like the police canine sniff out the cocaine. Trust me. As soon as we hear certain phrases, or as soon as we hear certain words, we already know what type of time you on. We already know you don't respect black men. We already know a vast majority of y'all do not respect black men. So don't be surprised when our cream of the crop, the top of the top, they bum rushing, they leaving the community, they going to other races of women. They going to Bill Gates' daughter. They going to Ronald Reagan's goddaughter. They going to the Asian chick over there. They going to the white European chick over there. They going to the Armenian chick over there. They going to the Czechoslovakian chick over there. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You apparently, the black women, they got the goggles on. They can't find the black man. They blind. They walking in the darkness. They can't see the black man. But the white girls, they see all the black men. The white girls see all the black men. They snatching them up. For some reason, Bill Gates' daughter can find her an intelligent black man with a bright future. But when it comes to the ladies in Dr. Umar's audience, and Dr. Umar got to ask himself, why do black women feel so comfortable disrespecting black men in his inbox like that? Because Dr. Umar, in a way, has also played a part in destroying the black male image. Dr. Umar Johnson, because his fan base is full of women, I believe the majority of his fan base is full of women, and I believe they are single mothers, he constantly has to push this image and this narrative of the black man to appease his audience. The reason why she felt so comfortable going inside Dr. Umar's inbox and abolishing the image of the black man, destroying the image of the black man, coming and disparaging the image of the black man, is because Dr. Umar has created an environment to make women feel comfortable doing that, right? Dr. Umar never elevates the image of the black man that's going to Harvard, going to Yale, going to Princeton, going to MIT, the black man providing jobs to the community, the black men that are doing what they're supposed to do in the community. Dr. Umar Johnson never shines a spotlight on them. He only speaks about the worst of the worst black man, the deadbeat, the criminal, the felon, the rapper, the ball player. Dr. Umar Johnson acts like other black men do not exist out of those narrow boxes that he puts us in. And because he pushes this propaganda to his audience, now there are women that come into his inbox feeling comfortable speaking nonsense in this fashion. When we got black men doing amazing things all over the country, all over the world. But when you create an environment where their image is constantly disrespected and those who are performing at a high level, their contributions are never acknowledged, well, do not be surprised, like I said, when our upperly mobile, highly educated, high income earning black men are marrying out the race at the highest levels. They've already worked themselves into a position where they have an abundance of options to choose from. So why would a man, any man, not even just a black man, choose a woman that does not respect him as a person, as an individual, as a human being? Because the lady who texted Dr. Umar Johnson that text message, she does not respect black men, period. Even if this young brother from Stanford walked through the door, she would look at him in that same negative lens that she puts all black men. Liquor and weed and don't protect and don't lead. And logically speaking, why would he tolerate that? Why would he tolerate that when Bill Gates' daughter ready to fly me across the country and we could go vacation in Paris and vacation in Italy and vacation in Kenya and vacation in Taiwan and vacation in China? Like, what incentive does he have not to take up that opportunity, right? That's why even me, myself, like I said, I only date black women, but I constantly say I only date a certain type of black woman. I don't date black women who don't respect black men. If you don't respect black men, if you have a negative image in your mind, in your heart about black men, we are not compatible. I do not date black women that have a history of dating white men, getting involved with white men, having relations with white men. Those are my two demographics I eliminate off the top. But besides that, black women are my preference and I deal with them on an exclusive basis. But once you eliminate the women who don't respect black men, right? That's a large chunk of the population. Off top, you just eliminated a huge chunk of the population. And then you eliminate the black women that be dealing with the white boys undercover and things like that. That's another decent chunk of the population. You left with a little small segment of black women left. For real. You left with a little small segment. And that's just my preferences. There's other brothers who got different preferences. They might got the same preferences as me. And then on top of that, they might say something like, okay, I don't want a single mom, no kids, things like that. She got to be a certain height, certain weight, certain look, whatever, certain body type. So then that also eliminates another large chunk of the population. And then you got these brothers running in different circles where the women do not look at them through the same negative light. Because if a guy is going to Stanford, then the women also at Stanford already know, okay, this is an intelligent dude. This is not a bum. This is a guy who's going places, obviously, because he's attending the same school as me. So then they get snatched up by these women from these universities. Meanwhile, the women from our community, they sitting back, destroying our image, talking about we just sit back, drinking liquor and smoking weed and listening to gangster rap and don't protect the community and things like that. Okay, cool. Well, the brothers that are doing their thing, they gonna ignore you. They gonna stay away from you. They gonna stay far away from you. And the only options you will have are black men who will tolerate that energy from you. The only man that will sit around and deal with a woman who does not respect him, who has disdain for him, who has hatred for him, is a man who is not going anywhere in life. A man with no prospects in life. Most likely a man who needs a place to stay. Because any other man with options, any other man with prospects, as soon as you open your mouth and say something disrespectful, he is out the door. So it's in my opinion that a large reason why a lot of the women in our community cannot locate these brothers. These brothers going to Harvard, going to Yale, going to Princeton, going to all these universities, going to Stanford, etc., etc. The reason why you cannot locate them is because you have a negative image of black men. Now, I don't know why that is. Maybe your father was not a high achiever. In my opinion, I think a large part of the reason why a lot of black women have disdain for black men is because their father was an underachiever. Their father did not lead the family. Their father did not protect the family. And they're now projecting that onto the mass population of black men all over the world. Their father sat around drinking liquor and smoking weed and listening to gangster rap. Their father was the one not attending to his duties, and that has left her traumatized and hurt and angry. And now she projects that image onto all of us. And unfortunately, because of that, because she sees all of us through that same lens, she's unable to see the young, high-powered, high-flying brother interning at Google, going to Stanford, etc., etc. Whereas Bill Gates' daughter, she doesn't have that trauma of a father who did not produce, of a father who was not reliable, of a father who did not do what he was supposed to do every single day. Her father is the richest man on the world. Her father is the richest man in the world, one of the most successful men of all time. So she does not have that trauma attached to men, let alone black men. She sees men in a positive light, I'm assuming because her father afforded her a high quality of life. So when she runs into this young brother at Stanford, she's all smiles, she's all happy, it's all sunshine and daisies. She's not carrying that trauma that you carrying. She's not carrying that hatred that you carrying. And then when you see him with his white girl, y'all get mad, but at the same time, y'all don't even respect black men to begin with. So how can you really get mad? Because even me, myself, I wouldn't get involved with a chick who thinks like this. Imagine you get her pregnant. Imagine you marry a woman like this and she raises your son and you pass away and she has to raise your son by herself. What will she teach your son if she views black men through this lens, right? She said black men just sit around misogynistic gangster rap, the liquor and the weed, and they're not reliable and they abandon their communities. If she has this much hatred in her heart for black men, how could she ever properly raise a black son? How could she ever raise your future son? How could she ever raise your future daughter? And that's why I personally have that standard. I do not deal with black women who do not respect black men. And I also do not deal with black women who be running around with the white boys, because if she running around with the white boys, she got an admiration and respect for the white boys. How is she going to raise strong, independent-minded black children? And if you notice in the text message, the lady had started out, she said, Dr. Umar, you encourage us not to date the snow folks and to unify and strengthen our communities. I do not disagree. Yet, how do we navigate these waters when faced with so many black men who do not prioritize marriage and family? The reason why she started out the text message in that way is because she was basically trying to look for an excuse from Dr. Umar that would justify her desire to start dating interracially. She basically gave a sales pitch to Dr. Umar saying, I have to go outside of the community because there are no options inside of the community. She said it in a roundabout fashion, because if interracial dating was not on her mind, she would have never said, hey, Dr. Umar, I know you encourage us not to date the snow folks. She would have never mentioned that sentence if she was not contemplating dating white boys. She's already thinking about it. She probably already dating a white boy right now. So to rationalize her desire to date outside the race, she had to come disparage and abolish and destroy the image of black men in Dr. Umar's inbox. And of course, when I went to the comment section under this tweet that he posted, of course, there were a bunch of women in the comment section talking about, oh, she's spitting facts. She's spitting facts. I agree. It's hard to find a black man. Where are they? Oh man, it's facts. Black men don't lead. Black men don't protect. And listen, the only thing I can say to the sisters, hey, knock yourself out. Continue sitting in your echo chambers, repeating these same phrases to yourself. And guess what? The white women, they're going to keep snatching up the high 6-figure, 7-figure earning brothers, going to the Ivy League, interning at these Fortune 500 companies. They're going to keep snatching them up because they do not have any of the hatred in their heart that you got for black men. They do not have it. They're not sitting around talking about black men don't protect, black men don't lead. You know what they're talking about? They're talking about, wow, this black man is handsome. Damn, this black man is fine. Damn, this black man is intelligent. Damn, this black man, oh my God, I love him. He's so athletic and he can rap and he can sing and he got like a 4.0 GPA and oh my God, I love him so much. Like, listen, it is what it is, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all never gonna find a black man because y'all don't respect black men. That's the cold hard facts. That's the cold hard facts right there. Y'all never gonna be able to get the best black man because y'all don't even respect any black man, period. And until y'all learn to respect black men and also stop running around with them white boys, until y'all learn to do that, then don't expect to ever get in contact with any black men of high caliber. If y'all want to keep disrespecting the image of black men, disparaging black men in the public, fine, knock yourself out. Keep running around with them white boys, fine, do your thing. But do not get upset when you do not have access to black men of high caliber, of black men of high status. Do not get upset. Because like I said before, intelligent black men, we can sniff out the bitterness and the hatred like the police canine sniff out the cocaine. And trust me when I say none of y'all can hide it for long. You guys use the same slogans, the same words, the same phrases, the same everything, the same everything, the same buzzwords. As soon as we hear the same song over and over, it's the same song and dance. We know who you are. We know how you coming. We know what you think. And as soon as we detect the hatred, we immediately remove ourselves from the situation. So it is what it is, man. It's your boy Neferkari Desalegn back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, cash app in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage. I got business, this shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with friends, cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.